Going live. Okay. So welcome to the RISC-V competition results live stream. Let's just get started with a quick mic check. So if you could give us some feedback in the comments channel. How's the mic? And this mic, you mic check.
Yeah, so it's really exciting to be announcing the results of this competition.
Cool. We get good from Sylvan and even a perfect from Brian. Good to see you on the on the stream here. And also just want to say, yeah, Brian bugged me a while ago about RISC-V, so he's happy to see the results. We got Sam on the stream. Hi, Sam. DM says good luck entrance. And we've got Ciro here, who's one of the entrants. So that's good. Also, Toivo's here. Another entrant, and also prolific Tiny Tapeout participant. Laurie Hedge says hi. And yeah, with that, we'll kick this off. So I'm just going to move my windows around a minute. There we go. Ken is here as well. Hi, Ken. Ken's also an entrant. And I'm not going to try to pronounce that. So, yeah, we thought we would just start off by showing a list of all the designs and reminding you of the categories, and then showing off the prizes. We'll do an intro of the judges, and then we'll work our way through the categories, awarding the prizes, and then we'll just follow up with some news on what to expect next, some new information on some old competitions, some info on some ideas for some new competitions, and then that'll be the end. So thanks everyone for tuning in to start with. Let me just load up this spreadsheet and share it. So that's here. So I really enjoyed seeing this competition happening, because we got just so much engagement, so many people making really cool peripherals. And Mike did a fantastic job of merging them all and getting them all into the two processors. And then we ended up with so many designs, we had to actually split it into two processors. Ray came up with the idea of calling one Asteroid and the other Berserk. Is that right, Mike?
Yeah, so they're named after early video games, and I think the idea was that we could have a succession where Asteroids was in, I think, 79, Berserk was in 1980, and then I think we had Centipede lined up if we needed it, which was 1981. So maybe that progression could continue in future.
And we even had to strip out one of the muxes here to enable the biggest ever Tiny Tapeout design for Asteroids. And then this is the slightly smaller Berserk one. So if we take a look at Asteroids, as usual, everything's open source. Here's the final render. I think it was about 60,000 standard cells in total. Does that sound right, Mike?
Yeah, it's a pretty big one, and yeah, some of the work I was doing at the end there was just trying to get a kind of good build and playing with the density to try and fit as many designs as I could onto the one chip, because it's great to have as many designs. We had to split it into two because there were just so many, but it's great to have lots of designs in one, so that yes, so you've got the full list of everything that's in there. But yeah, it's great to have lots on one instance, because then they can be used together. You can be playing with multiple peripherals at the same time. So that's something I hope to see happening when people get the chips back. Yep.
So what's this button do? Does that stop sharing? Yes. Don't want to give anything away yet. So we've got our categories. We've got best newcomer. So that means you haven't, this is your first tape out. Best byte, which was a like a reduced size one. So I think it was maximum size was 1 tile, the 8-bit interface and no interrupt.
Yep.
Correct me if I'm wrong at any point, Mike. Then we had best documentation, best tested, and most unusual. And we've got a couple of extra categories that we're going to judge later, and I'll tell you more about that at the end of the stream. So then what are the prizes? So we decided to do the same prizes for each of the 5 categories. So for third place, you're going to get a Tiny Tapeout or ASIC hat and a free tile on the next shuttle to use as you wish. Second place is the hat, the tile, and one of the cool epoxy cubes from my very first tape outs. Get some ASIC history. And for first place, the hat, the wafer, the epoxy cube, the tile, and $100 to spend in the store. Actually, I kind of skipped over the wafer there. The wafer is the top prize. Ooh, sparkly wafer. Nice. This could be yours if you're winning the top prize of any of these categories.
Was that from an open source shuttle, or is that?
No, unfortunately not. That was from a random Chinese supplier.
Ah, fair enough.
Let's just take a look at the comments here again. Andy saying no RISC-V demo program yet. I don't know. We've got some demos to show you. Eddie says cool names. Ray, another participant, says hi. Franco says so shiny. Yeah, it's definitely very shiny, amazing looking wafer. Yeah, unfortunately, the open source wafers are too rare still. I would love to get my hands on some more to give away, but I've only got one myself, so got to keep that for me, unfortunately. So before we start with the newcomer category, I want to introduce you to the judges. So I'm going to start with Bunny Huang, Andrew Bunny Huang. So let me just read his bio. He's one of the world's most renowned hardware hackers, best known for reverse engineering the original Xbox. He's the author of The Essential Guide to Electronics in Shenzhen and a passionate advocate for hardware freedom and security. And this is his intro.
Geez, I like to build hardware. I like to break hardware. I have been doing it for a long time, I guess you could say. So I've done a lot of weird things in different places. But I guess most recently I've been on a little bit of a silicon kick. And my primary focus is trying to figure out how we can build silicon that we can trust. For actual reasons. It's not just like I'm a good brand, trust me, but like you can actually see it and inspect it and measure it and simulate it. These types of things, these are all important. And so looking at both ends of the spectrum, both on the inspection side, doing some research with Iris and also trying to build some open source chips, or at least as open as we can get it. I mean, you guys are doing true full open source, but I'm trying to crack the nut at 22 nanometer. As open as I can get it at that level. So
that's Bunny, and then we've also got Yuning Liang, who's the CEO and founder of Deep Computing. In 2024, he received the RISC-V Community Contributor Award and was recognized as an Ubuntu Summit contributor. FOSDEM 2025 RISC-V track keynote speaker and Ubuntu Summit 2024 RISC-V invited speaker. Yuning is known for advocating open source and RISC-V technologies and believes in cross-cultural collaboration and problem solving. And here's his intro.
Give a very brief introduction. I'm the founder of Deep Computing and devoted myself to making primarily all the modern consumer electronics purely on RISC-V. So I don't do any ARM or x86 stuff. So, and I know RISC-V is hard, but quite a good journey on the Open ISA and trying to get it down to mass production for for high performance stuff as well.
So that's Yunning, and I also wanted to introduce Mike as well in the same way. Mike is like one of the architects of this project, but I also wanted him to be a judge, and I want to introduce him properly. So this is Mike, Rebel Mike Bell, coder, narrowboater, puzzle hunter, and author of Tiny QV, which is at the center of this competition. So let's hear Mike's intro.
So I'm Mike. I've been playing around with open source silicon since Tiny Tapeout 3, I think, and I kind of saw something on Twitter saying this was an interesting project and got drawn into it. I'd done a little bit on the FPGA before that, but I hadn't done loads, so I kind of built up my hardware design skills. I've kind of developed in Tiny Tapeout, got a simple RISC-V chip onto Tiny Tapeout 4, and then made this more complicated one. And just kind of beginning to get into lower level hardware design, so mixed signal tape outs, that kind of thing. Hoping to do something on upcoming Tiny Tapeout shuttles.
Great. And our final judge is Omar Chabib. He's a senior embedded software engineer at Espressive Systems. They make the ESP32 and so on, specialized in RISC-V microcontrollers and low-level designs. He developed the ESP32C3 support for QEMU and is passionate about RISC-V technology and FPGA hardware design, creating 8-bit peripherals in Verilog in his spare time. So absolutely perfect for judging this competition. And here's his intro.
So my name is Omar. I worked at Espressive System. I mostly work on RISC-V chips now, and I'm responsible for mostly what is low level, so interrupts or coprocessor support, or sometimes also debugging. And so every time we have a new chip, I have to test these features or extend the possibilities of ESP IDF, which is the main framework. And but on my personal side, I'm also very interested in retro computing, also hardware stuff, mostly Verilog and FPGA programming. So this project was also very interesting for me.
All right. So are you ready, Mike? Gonna announce the results of best newcomer.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So you wanna announce third place?
Okay, yeah, third place is going to the PDM microphone project from John Nordby and Martin Stensgaard.
And tied for third place with the Neural Processing Unit, NPU, by Soeb Erabi. And we've got, so congratulations to both of you. Get the hats and the towels on the way. And we've got a couple of words by from Yunning to talk about the NPU unit. So let me just play that. Best newcomer.
Yeah, I think just for the newcomer, you suddenly do an NPU on an FPGA that's small. I think it's crazy. so that is okay. I just pick it. It's so unusual.
So for each of the things that the different categories, we asked the judges to come up with some words about why they wanted to vote for that design. So that's what Yunning wanted to say about the NPU. Okay, so congratulations again, and moving on to second place. We've got Mike. You want to announce?
So second place is the Cordic design by Maciej Luansky. I apologize, I probably destroyed that name. Are we bringing up the docs for these? Or
yeah, why don't we do that actually? Yeah, good. Thanks for reminding me. So I will do that.
So yeah, Cordic's quite an old technique for having cheap computations of sine and cos, and it can do divisions and multiplications as well, and hyperbolic functions, square roots. So all sorts of functions that are quite difficult to do on the CPU side. This gives you a way of computing those kind of cheaply as a coprocessor.
Yeah, and lovely documentation as well.
Yeah.
So congratulations again, and now we're going to announce the best newcomer, and I've got a clip to play from Bunny.
Yeah, I mean, just overall amongst the new, in that particular category, the pulse transmitter had, great documentation, which I really enjoyed. A beautiful block diagram at top, but also like it seems eminently useful, right? Like there's a whole bunch of example code here I see for like remote control protocols, WS2012 things. Like it's the sort of block that you would almost be like, okay, on a professional ASIC tape out, what do I want? I want one of these kinds of blocks. So I thought it was like a very practical, interesting, well-documented block. Also a lot of tests too, which is good.
Yeah, so can just open up the docs again on that. For the pulse transmitter by Han. Congratulations, Han.
Yeah, it's another really nice. There's a few kind of designs like this which are quite flexible and let you do a whole bunch of different things. So I think this is the first one we're going to try and do a live demo of.
Live demo.
Live demo. I got the WS2812 example. That so there's a few examples in the docs here, and I got that running in MicroPython. So I'll see if I can bring that up. And here we go. Can you still hear me? That's the next question.
Yes, can still hear you.
Excellent. So this was my test script for this. So what we're going to do is cycle some LEDs through a bunch of rainbow colors. So you can see the setup here, just like poking these registers on the peripheral with some values. We set up the output pin to drive the data and then cycle through some colors. So let's see it go.
Yay.
So yeah, the peripheral can do way more complicated things than this, but this was a nice simple test to get it running and show how we can use MicroPython on TinyQV, which is hopefully that will be an easy way for people to play with it once people get their hands on it. And something that I could get up and running fairly quickly based on the documentation. So yeah, it's good to see that was nice and easy to do.
Awesome. Wicked. Okay. So congratulations again to our winners there. And we'll be in touch to get the details we need to send you the prizes. Thanks for putting together that demo, Mike. And yeah, it's great to see these designs and know that they're all going to be like part of this cool community generated microcontroller.
Yeah.
So any last words from you on this category, or we move on to the next one?
No, let's keep going, I think.
Best byte. Okay, so as we talked about earlier, the byte is like this. There was more limitations. The design had to be smaller, and it had a smaller interface to the central CPU.
Yes, this helped us get a few more designs onto both of the chips, and gave part of the idea was to give kind of newcomers a simpler interface to work with. But lots of people that were quite experienced took up the challenge of fitting something into this space as well. So that was good to see.
Okay, so I'll you do this first one, Mike.
Cool. So yeah, the first one was one of Ray's submissions. This was the another audio synthesizer. So the AY3819X.
Which is a classic sound chip.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Ray taped this out on Tiny Tapeout 6 or 7. I remember playing with it on there. So it's great to see a version of it available from Tiny QV, and we'll be able to play with it. And yeah, I'm really hoping that we'll be able to combine this synthesizer, or there's a couple of other synthesizers on this on Tiny QV, and graphics projects, and get some cool games going and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good engine for games and demo scene stuff, I think. So congratulations, Ray, winning 3rd place in the bytes category. Okay, so then I'll do 2nd place. So 2nd place is another one where we've got 2 people tied together. The first design is the 8-bit RSA by Chow Alonso, and tied with Tiny QV Waveforms by Meinhard Kisic. And we've got a quick clip to play from Omar about his choice for best byte.
So first of all, it's compact. It's very simple. Like the principle is very simple, but the idea is great. Like it's something I would have never thought about. And in embedded systems, because this is what I do, I always need logic analyzers. I always need to get it out and plug cables and everything. And I think the idea behind this is really good. And it's simple, yet efficient. And who never used printf to debug? Well, now we have something a bit better than printf. So I think it was a good one, very good one.
Yes, so let's just take a quick look at the Tiny QV waveforms.
Yeah, if you bring the docs up, people get a bit more of an idea what that is. That's basically a logic analyzer that displays the input pins that are coming into the Tiny Tapeout chip on a little LCD screen. It's a SSD 1306 screen, which are quite common, cheap little screens.
There we go. So this is what you're going to see when you plug it in. So it's like having a little logic analyzer right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't got one of those screens handy, so I didn't set up a demo for that one, I'm afraid.
And then 8-bit RSA from Chow Alonso. Yeah.
So yeah, this is an 8-bit implementation of the RSA algorithm. It's obviously kind of somewhat simpler because it's only 8 bits, but it's still a kind of interesting algorithm to implement, and good to squeeze it into a single byte, a single tile.
Yeah. Fantastic. So Mike, you go ahead and announce first place in the byte category.
Yeah, so first place is the Universal Segmented LED driver from Rebecca G. Betancourt. This is quite a fun one. You could start by thinking, well, this is fairly straightforward. You're outputting numbers. Oh, those aren't coming up particularly well now. Your screen there, Matt. But yeah, you can drive the 7-segment LED on Tiny Tapeout with different numbers, and then it's got a whole bunch of extensions. So if you go above 9, then you can go A, B, C, D, E, F, as you would normally expect for hex, but you can also do various of these different patterns. You've got those letters there, so you can say help, which I remember appearing on 7-segment displays of various servers when they crashed and that kind of thing. So you got those things, and then it's got it's got a bunch of options. So depending on how you want to display the numbers, and then going further than that, it's got this whole ASCII mode. So as well as numbers, it's got like a full attempt at all of the uppercase and lowercase letters. Obviously, some of them are pretty rough when you've only got the 7-segment display, but that's pretty cool. And then, yeah, even beyond that, it's got these different number systems where it can display on different styles of LED display. And if you go down a bit further, it's even got a vigesimal number system, base 20. So yeah, it's lots of different things that they've packed into this pretty cool little single tile project.
Yep. So congratulations again to Rebecca. First place in the byte category. All right. Are we going to do a demo, Mike?
Demo of that one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get that. Okay. So coming back to this one. So yeah, this is just counting up through the numbers, as we said, and then we've got a little animation there which plays. Just the CPU is just continuing to count, but it goes through different animations and that kind of thing. Yeah, just a quick demo there.
Fantastic. Okay, so next up is the category for best documentation. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so let's do it the other way around this time. So, oh no, same as before. Mike, you do third place because you're going to do first place again.
Okay, yes. So best documentation, there's loads of well-documented projects on TinyQV here. So it's difficult to choose from, but these are the three. And Pulse Transmitter by Han is already a winner. Again, I think Bunny even mentioned the decent documentation when he was talking about it there. So yeah.
Now you get to see it in light mode, not dark mode.
Ah, yes. Yeah, maybe some of the
Okay, and then in second place, we have Prism by Ken Pettit. And I've often and long been impressed by Ken's projects on Tiny Tapeout, and he always does excellent documentation. It's always
absolutely.
Good to...
Yeah.
If I want to show people what good documentation looks like on Tiny Tapeout, I can often find a Ken Pettit example, and this project is no exception. Very nicely documented with pictures and example code and register mappings and everything you need to get started with this. Mike, you want to explain what it does?
So this is like a little, it's not quite an FPGA, but like a mini bit of programmable logic inside this peripheral. So you can get that to do all sorts of things. I think Ken's got examples of SPI and probably the WS2812 driver, because everybody's got one of those, and a UART maybe. I'm trying to remember where it is, but yeah, you can do all sorts of things with this. You can build a little, I think it's 8-state state machine, and Ken's got a fork of Yosis which you can use to program that. So yeah, it's a really impressive project that I really need to spend some more time with and get going properly.
Yeah, fantastic. Very well deserved. Great job, Ken. And yeah, good to see that recognition coming in. And also got a nice message here from Brian saying that because we had the AY sound chip from Ray was first taped out on Tiny Tapeout 5, so it's great to see these designs.
The 5, yeah.
Yeah, becoming part of the lore of Tiny Tapeout.
Yeah.
Okay, so where are we at? Docs.
So yeah, Docs first place. Have you
yes.
are you doing a clip from me on this, or am I?
No, you're
Okay.
So that's you're going to do this because we don't have a clip from you.
Great. Okay.
First place from
So
Mike.
yeah, first place is Toivo's synth, Piecewise Orion synth. So this is very well documented and impressive project. This is, I think, a variant of the synth that was on Toivo's Tiny Tapeout 8 demo scene project. As you can see, we got a nice kind of flow diagram of all of the different parts of the synth to start with, and then as we scroll down, there's a good description of all the registers, what everything does, and then some diagrams showing how the kind of waveforms get deformed as you're using the different options and that kind of thing. So yeah, impressive project and great documentation. Yeah, fortunately, Toivo included some test code that I think he got running in MicroPython. I'm not entirely sure. I had to make a couple of fixes, so I'm not entirely sure whether it was done completely blind or whether it was testing against the SPI version somehow. But I managed to get that test script running on the MicroPython version that I've got running on FPGA. So I got that last night and sent Matt a clip. So hopefully we can hear it in action.
Brace yourself, everybody. Yeah. So yeah, great to hear that working, and I'm sure it's going to sound even better with some reverb and delay. That's always a good addition to synthesizers. So looking forward to hearing how that works with some cool chiptune stuff driving it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just a demo of. There's really a test of some of the different basic waveforms and that kind of thing. You could hear kind of the multi-channel in the second test there, but getting it playing tunes and things. I'm sure there's stuff of that in the works.
Yeah. So great work, Toivo. Fantastic. Getting a lot of love here in the comments, and yeah, really cool to see such a great project, and looking forward to hearing some community generated music that utilizes the synthesizers we've got on this cool chip. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, thanks again for entering that and doing such an incredible job on the documentation. Maybe you can let us know in the comments how many hours you worked on the documentation to bring home that first prize place, winning this amazing shining wafer. Let me just show off the shiny wafer again. Get one of these to you soon, Toivo, and you can enjoy some rainbows on your desk. Okay, so gonna just mention briefly here our sponsors. So I want to first give a shout out to Chip Foundry, Jeff and Mohammed at Chip Foundry. Thanks very much for continuing to work with us at Tiny Tapeout and sponsoring the shuttles. So their November shuttle is open now. The commitment deadline is October the 15th. So if you want to get involved, put your name down before then. We're running our next Tiny Tapeout shuttle with them, TT Sky 25B, and that shuttle is already open. And if you're if you're one of the first 80 people to buy a dev kit, then it's goes down to just €100, and that's thanks to the sponsorship from Chip Foundry. So thanks again, Chip Foundry, for sponsoring the project. Also want to say shout out to Texplained for doing our chip imaging. So here's an example of the results of what we can get from Texplained. So this is also put together by Tamash, this kind of explorable chip map where we can see the microscope image, We can zoom in, and then we can switch to the actual GDS of the chip as well. So it's a really fantastic way of exploring these open source chips. And we don't have the equipment to do that ourselves. So thanks to TechSplain. So if you need your chips imaged or secret data extracted, get in touch with TechSplain. Okay, so before we continue with best tested, which is going to be the next category, I want to play a couple more clips from our judges explaining why they wanted to get involved in this competition and help out with the judging, because it was actually a big ask to help with judging on a project like this. It's hours of work to review the designs, and I was extremely grateful for our judges to volunteer their time, and I was interested to know why they wanted to support the project. So here's first we'll hear from Bunny.
I think there's a bunch of reasons. I think one is, I mean, I've obviously heard a lot about Tiny Tapeout, and if I had more hours in the day, it's the sort of thing I would like to get involved in on the engineering side. So when given a opportunity to just see what's going on and get familiar with the ecosystem, I felt this was like a really cool way to sort of get involved, but also, within the time limits that I have, something I'm able to do relatively easily.
And Yunning?
Yeah, I think first thing is probably the sharing, the openness of it, and then it's one of the philosophy we as all the RISC-V guys holds. And with sharing is one of those things, and then also because if people can do sharing tapeout on RISC-V with all different kind of crazy modules, and then one day they might really end up with a proper MCU or MPU, and that would be great. And especially if kids start doing that in school, in university, and then they have so much time, there's so much the potential, then we love to encourage those the sharing and activity in the community as well. So we get kids and then professional all together. That is the exciting of Tiny Tapeout. Don't look at the tiny side, but it's really big.
Love that last bit there. And from Omar?
So first of all, I was already aware of what was Tiny Tapeout because I follow your channel on YouTube, and it's really something I find very interesting. I love the idea of having multiple people working on the same chip, on a super chip, which has a lot of designs, and share a wafer. I really love the idea, and also because it's RISC-V, open hardware, and curiosity, of course. I'm very curious to see what other people have, what ideas they have, and I was not disappointed by this.
Mike, I don't know if you want to say a couple of words as well about why you wanted to be involved in this competition.
Yeah, I guess for me, it was just a cool opportunity to further develop TinyQV, which I'd kind of started putting together Tiny Tapeout 6 and was planning to do on Tiny Tapeout 10, and then that got cancelled, and it's gone into various shuttles since then. But yeah, having the opportunity to take what I created and integrate other people's designs with it, and support from Matt and the rest of the Tiny Tapeout team on taking that forwards, and yeah, being able to provide this platform is just really cool.
Thanks, Mike. And yeah, also got to say thanks a lot to Mike for doing TinyQV and all the support and all those pull requests, merging all that pull requests. So a lot of work gone involved behind the scenes to make this happen. Okay, so we'll move on now to our best tested category. Bam, 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 bam. And you want to go first, or shall I go first this time?
Shall I go for it? So this,
yeah, you go for it.
Third place and best tested is the Dwarf Line Table Accelerator by Laurie Hedge.
Dun, 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 dun. Do you want to just say what dwarf line tables are? Because I didn't know.
Yeah, so this Dwarf is a debugging format, debug information. So to be honest, I'm not fully sure what how this what the dwarf line tables are. This allows you to read in that debug information format and I think work out what line you're at various points during the program. I'm slightly above my head, I'm afraid.
Sorry to put you on the spot there. You probably did a better job of it than I would have done, though.
There's some good stuff here, though.
Yes. Okay. By Laurie Hedge. So congratulations, Laurie. And just before we move on, Laurie says, thank you. You're welcome. Thanks very much for taking part in the competition. And just go back to, I asked Toivo about how long it took him to do that documentation, and he said at least one pretty intensive week spent on the docs. And yeah, that is clearly visible. So thanks again for doing all this work with the documentation, because it's very difficult to test other people's designs without good docs. That's something that we're learning in the Tiny Tapeout community.
Yeah, one thing with Tiny Tapeout, every now and again, I kind of spend an evening and just like, let's try and test a couple of designs. And you go through and so many designs, you just see, well, there's not enough docs there for me to understand how to give it a go. So it's great that we were encouraging people to give good docs here, because that means we've got a whole bunch of designs we can understand.
We'll have to have that. If we run every Tiny Tapeout shuttle, we have like a best docs competition and give away a wafer, then maybe we can slowly bring up the quality. It's just Toivo will probably win it every time. Toivo or Ken.
Ken's has got a pretty good shout there, I reckon.
You can only win at one time. Okay. Okay, so second place is the hardware UTF encoder and decoder by Rebecca. So another win for Rebecca there. And yeah, this is a very interesting project that can convert between the different UTF encodings in hardware. Very nicely documented and also very well tested again as well. So great job, Rebecca. Congratulations again for another win. And in first place, Mike.
Yeah, in first place is this Cordic design again. So well done, Maciej Lewandowski. I apologize for pronunciation again. But yeah, this design had, this is the Cordic we were talking about earlier, and yeah, it had loads of tests. And I think there might be a clip here on looking at Toivo's message. Yeah, I think you might have a clip from Omar about this one.
Yep. Let me just cue that up. Best tested by Omar.
Yeah, exactly. So Cordic, I was also very surprised when I saw it. It's also something I wanted to implement myself. I was also interested in it. And I wonder, like, is it something I would want on a real chip, on a real MCU? And the answer is yes. Like when you check RV32E or RV32I architectures, they don't have multiplication, division, or square root, all those things. And you would need such a component, such module. So not only it's a nice proof of concept, but it's actually something really useful in the real world of embedded systems. And of course, it was very well tested, and there was even edge cases and everything. So I think it was really a good one for me.
And Mike, do we have a demo on this as well?
Yeah, we should be able to do a quick demo. Here we go. So yeah, this is just going to be in the shell. So it's going to do a couple of calculations there. So hopefully these values are about correct. So it can do sine and cos, and we can just check that it's doing the right thing here. If I can do that, can just confirm that sine of 30 is indeed a half. So the way this is working is with fixed point. So 16-bit fixed point, so it's not super accurate. And Cordic itself is you get like a small amount of error, so you can see things just slightly off there. I got so when it's doing square roots, you end up with a value which you need to then adjust by dividing by this constant. But the Cordic itself can do division, so I made a version of the square root which actually does the square root that's here using the Cordic, and then uses the Cordic to then do the division to adjust it to give the true value. So yeah, some quite cool bits and pieces you can do there, and it'd be nice to make a little C library that let you take advantage of this for approximations on divisions and sine and cos and things, rather than relying on the slow maths libraries that come with GCC.
Great, thanks for the demo, Mike. And just going back to the dwarf line table, Laurie, the author, is in the comments saying that it encodes the line table as an executable program for an abstract machine. So he thought it would be fun to implement the abstract machine in hardware. All right. And so that wraps us up for Best Tested. Congratulations, all the winners there. And let us now move on to our final category, Most Unusual. So in third place, we've got another joint 2 winners for third place. And I'm just going to start. I'm going to play a clip from Yunning.
And then even more unusual is doing the affine transformation, because I do my PhD in computer vision. So, and I go for all the matrix multiply from Euclidean 3D to homographic to projective, and affine transformations between 2 and 3 dimensions. So I just pick something that is close to my roles, and then I do the look at it, and I find it very unusual, very unusual. You never find anyone will doing this thing in practical. You be pretty much useless, but that's the reasons.
So congratulations, Adam, for the affine transform, winner of third place in the most unusual category, and also very nicely documented. So congratulations for that.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's shared with the hardware UTF encoder and decoder again from Rebecca. So I think this is Rebecca's third placing in the competition so far. So great showing from Rebecca. Congratulations for the hardware UTF encoder decoder again in third place, most unusual. Mike, you announced second place.
Yeah, so second place is another design by Rebecca. This is the Intercal ALU. So you might have heard of Intercal. It's a kind of slightly intentionally difficult to use programming language that's invented, I think, in the 60s. And the operations are things like shuffling bits together and anding neighboring bits and that kind of thing. And this is an implementation of that in hardware, so you can run your Intercal programs via this peripheral at speed. And there's some fun documentation there, which is in the kind of style as Intercal. Yeah, as Andy's saying there, come from is a great one, especially multi-threaded Intercal, where you can come from the same line to multiple places. I think if you've got a real Intercal compiler, then you need to say please the appropriate number of times as well. It's a very silly language, and yeah, I like this design. It's a very silly design, and yeah, it's that's that.
So that's Rebecca's fourth placing, isn't it? Wow. Yep. And in first place, I've got a final clip from Bunny.
Yeah, I mean, I think just like I never would have thought dwarf would be put into hardware. It's just like one of those like I saw it, I was like, what? Like, why would? Sure, why not? I mean, and it's there, and it does its thing, and whatnot. It really just sort of like it stuck out and just grabbed me when the moment I saw it. I was like, well, this is what it means when you have free tape outs and you have like, or not free, but like low cost tape outs and open source hardware, and as it may be, like if you think about it, you can. It's like almost sort of the embodiment to me of like, well, if you can think about it, you can do it in the power of being open, right?
Yeah. So congratulations again to Laurie Hedge for first place in the most unusual with a dwarf line table accelerator. Let's give them a round of applause in the comments channel. Any final comments from you, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I think just overall the quality of like the vast majority of the submissions just really high, and going through them and judging them, I think all of the judges found that pretty difficult to do and choose the winners here, because yeah, there's lots of designs that will be worth checking out that aren't in these lists. So yeah, looking forward to getting the chip back and seeing people playing with the peripherals and having them interact with each other and that kind of thing.
Yeah. So that leaves us just with some tying up with what's next. So one thing that I wanted to mention was that if you were eagle-eyed, you would have seen a bunch of entries in that spreadsheet I showed at the beginning that actually came from the team, from me, from Mike, and from Tamash. And Tamash especially had a couple of very interesting designs. One of my favorites was the analog playground, I think, or analog toolkit for building things like A to Ds and D to As. And I just wanted to give Tamash a shout out because he entered these peripherals, but we removed them from the judging because we wanted to keep it only people outside the team to be considered.
Yeah, there's the video mode tester that Tamash did as well. I think it's going to be super useful in future because there's always these questions as well. Can Tiny Tapeout do this video mode? I don't know whether we'll be able to test 1080p with that. Somebody was asking about that the other day, whether that would be plausible. Yeah, seeing all the being able to have programmable timings and just try them out on actual Skype 130 silicon and see that happen would be cool.
So to all the winners, we'll be in touch to get your address information and get your prizes in the post. If you're watching this and thinking, wow, all these winners with their great designs, these would be great candidates for offering a job to, we think the same thing. And we're also looking for people to sponsor future competitions. So if you're interested, if you're watching from a company that'd be interested in sponsoring Tiny Tapeout one of these competitions, then please get in touch. We're always looking out for sponsors. We're going to do another round of judging for the community favorite and silicon proven categories once we get the chips back, which we're expecting in April 2026. And talking of getting chips back, we just got the Tiny Tapeout 8 chips back, which we had written off. We thought we weren't ever going to get them. So if you're a Tiny Tapeout 8 submitter and you haven't already used your coupon, we're happy to exchange that for a Tiny Tapeout 8 chip. And also that was the chip with the demo scene competition on it. So we're finally going to get to be able to do the judging of the demo scene competition. And it was kind of the lesson that we learned with that chip was that we should do the judging like straight after the tape out and not wait for the silicon to come back. So that's why we split this into 2 rounds. The first round without the chip, and then we're going to do the community favorite and silicon proven afterwards. We already got asked by a couple of people, are we going to do another competition? Yes, we will. And one of the ideas that we've got is to do a competition on best application of these microcontrollers. We've just built 2 amazing open source community sourced microcontrollers with all of these fantastic peripherals. We just highlighted just a few, like out of the 40 that were put on there. So I think we're going to have to do a competition about who can make the coolest application. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, that would be nice to see. And yeah, hopefully get people playing around with the different peripherals and getting everything working together.
Yeah. So if you've got an idea for a dwarf line table accelerated synthesizer with universal LED display, then start thinking about how you can write some firmware. Start taking a look at those tests and documentation.
It's worth saying there's several VGA designs on here which somehow didn't make it into the list of winners here, but there's a good one from Ray, which I suspect didn't make it in because the documentation just missed the deadline. But I'll get those pull requests merged, and now that the judging's all happened, so people can check that out. So yeah, we should be able to do some good audio visual things, games, and other demos once we get the chips back.
That's right. And so one other thing to mention is that, like I said, our Sky 25B taping out through Chip Foundry and Skywater is open now and closes in 33 days. We still got some cheap dev kits available, so if you want to get involved in making a tape out on the next Tiny Tapeout shuttle, don't leave it to the last minute. Usually all of those boards will be sold out around 2 or 3 weeks before the deadline. And then the last thing was just to say thanks again to all the judges. Really appreciated your time and help getting this. And to you, Mike, for putting TinyQV together and for doing all the pull requests.
Yeah.
And thanks again also to all the participants, all the winners, obviously, but also everybody else who took part, who we didn't have time or space to mention here. Make sure you check out the Asteroid and Berserk microcontrollers on Tiny Tapeout, and take a look at all those other excellent designs from all the other participants. We couldn't do it without you. So thanks everyone also for watching at home and following along. It's been a fun stream, and we'll see you for the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.